Pounders, welcome back. Another episode of The Big Board, which is officially 33.5% full. What better time than now to get your hands on the Pounders Draft Guide? Looked over by yours truly, Nick Freda. Appreciate you, my man. What you're going to get is 6 rounds of player write-ups, 216 players ranked, as well as our favorite 19th and 20th round guys. And this is strictly ranks based on where these players' ADPs are right now and who we're fading, who we're higher on. You'll see in green, in red. If you're interested in this, link is in the description to the Patreon. Let's go. Pick 2. You do not see this every day. Actually, you never see this. We're like Mr. Pick 9 this year, which is fine. Looks like Uncle Benji, Omega, Tinderella, I've been drafting with a ton. Not sure if they are a pounder, but this side of the board, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 badgeless, 2 with the black badges. This could be a very, very interesting room. Let's see if we start with getting CMC at the 2 spot. Like I'm expecting some wild stuff to happen. So maybe we get different here. Let's see. The 1 spot, which in my opinion, it has to be CMC. It has to be. He's going to make us sweat. He's going to make us sweat. Bring it all the way down. Bring it all the way down, my friend. You do you. You do you. Lamb it is. Let's go. We are creeping upwards towards 8% on CD Lamb. Finally. We got him at 3 the other day on stream, which always feels good. Golfer man. Goes JJ at the 3rd. Let's see some wild stuff. Nothing that's going to get the draft canceled, but something that's going to give us some nice values on the back end. And we've seen Devontae Adams. He's been a riser. He started around pick 25. In order to get different in this spot, one thing I have been testing is just bringing Waddle down here to get a little different combination, which is more than fine. Waddle goes right now at pick 32. He's been a riser. I'm not worried about if anyone got him at 47, like the first day of drafting. I don't think. Did it happen in a room? It probably happened in a room, but I don't really care about just a handful of teams. And you're going to be getting a different combination anyways. So I like bringing Waddle. I like the idea of bringing Waddle here into pick 26 if we want to get different. I think you can, like, when you tier these players too, right? Like, sure, you shouldn't be reaching multiple tiers. Like, I do think that is net, it's minus EV. If you're reaching multiple tiers to get different combinations, hurting your advance rates potentially, if it's a player with a less of a ceiling, like, that's the stuff I can't do. But if you can make the argument that these players belong in the same tier, if you can make the argument that Waddle belongs in the tier of Tank Dell, Chris Olave, Diggs, then it's fine. then you probably should be doing it because it's less owned. Probably should be doing it. Should be mixing it in more, especially if they're in the same tier. Little Garrett Wilson, Kyron at the 12 spot. AJ Brown and Achan. Nothing too crazy just yet. Pretty standard here. JT and Puka. Gibbs and Nico. Nico goes off before DJ. More. There has been some talks about Justin Fields with Pittsburgh, potentially sending over Deontay Johnson. 2nd round pick is what seems like Pittsburgh, all they want to give up. And obviously Chicago fighting for a 1st overall pick. I believe Pittsburgh has the 20th. Feels late, but let's have a peek. 14th. That makes more sense. DJ Moore and Monra. And we'll see. There's been rumblings about Pittsburgh looking to add Ryan Tannehill, who obviously played under Arthur Smith back in Tennessee when they were making the playoffs. Devontae Adams goes at 20, which is fine. Kind of expected. All right, badgeless folk. What do you have for us? Do you have any curveballs? Is this where you go Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey? Devontae Adams and Chase is such a like that's such a good start. Ayuk's been slipping. I think this is a pretty good spot to bring in Ayuk at 23. I'm cool with this. We'll start with Lamb and Ayuk. Could do 3 wide receiver start. We could bring in Laporta. We could go ETN, but ETN, I have been mixing in ETN when he falls. This is where I think you can do this. I probably do like Diggs a little more. But let's bring in Waddle. It's going to open up another QB stack for us. It's going to open up another QB stack for us. I think he ends up back in Buffalo. I'm not too worried about that. But we did see his production start to decline towards the end of the year. I want my production to go up with the players I'm drafting, especially in these early rounds. I'm going to have Diggs. I'm going to have my 8%. I'm going to have him with Josh Allen. I'm going to have him without. Here just feels like a good spot. We'll try the Waddle pull up. Lamb, Ayuk, and Waddle start. Super fiery. Next picks are 47 and 50. So we're just taking a peek into that range. Trey McBride definitely stands out to me there. Amari Cooper, I don't really want to force one of these running backs. I believe the other day with Nick, we went Pacheco at 50 after he fell like 7.5 picks. And I think that's okay, but we did get buried in the wide receiver avalanche because we went early QB with Josh Allen, and we knew it could happen. Said, I think we're in pick 3. If Godwin wasn't there at 70, we're going to get buried a little bit. And it's exactly what happened. You just have to be aware of what draft position you're in and where the tiers kind of fall off. And I think that's where you're going to find most of your advantages in your advance rates, more than just player takes. And, we're all trying to hit the nuts when it comes to rookie landing spots. No one knows for sure where these players are 100% landing. They just don't. Team trades, in the drafts, all that, free agency. But one thing for certain with roster construction and sort of knowing the landscape of the draft room, you can definitely have a huge edge. Huge edge. Laporte off the board at 34. This guy already loves his rookies. This is something to note. This guy probably figured he was getting Jalen Hurts, I would think. But okay, he brings in ETN at 38. Little 8-pick slide on ETN feels real good. Feels real good by Omega here. Damn. I'd be happy with that, especially after this this run of wide receivers goes off. And Drake London's still there too. My God. Been scooping a ton of Drake London just because we sort of foresee this rise coming when they do get an upgrade at QB. It's kind of implied, but now he is starting to slow down just a tad. I do think you can put him in ahead of a few of these guys, though, personally. James Cook off the board at 40. McBride off the board at 41. All right, so there goes the McBride click. It's gone. It's gone. This range I'm not ultra excited about. If we can get Lamar and Zay, that would be like super ideal, but that's a long shot. I don't want to really bring in White here, especially at 47. I'm all set. I don't like Cooper's good in this range. He sticks out. Reed is probably the next if we wanted to go wide receiver, but already having 3, I do think there's a tier fall off after Cooper in between these two. Let's see what these 3 guys do. He goes Kelsey. So this guy probably trying to set up a little double stack with the Rice and Kelsey. Gets next clicked, basically. If Lamar falls to us and Zay's still there, we'll definitely go Lamar. This guy shouldn't be going QB, but let's see. Could get something neat here. A little 7-pick slide on Lamar, too. Even if Zay's gone, like, damn, boys, this guy on auto, that's back-to-back. Yeah, this guy could be on auto. Definitely something to note. This is interesting. I'm probably rarely going. I'd say rarely going Zay Flowers without Lamar. Just because I think Zay Flowers' spike weeks are so heavily tied to Lamar spike weeks. Yeah, let's bring in Cooper here. If Pacheco's still there, we'll go Pacheco. I think Kenneth Walker is going to be a tough one to sort of figure out as well this year. I do want to go RB in this range, unless we're going to 71 and 74. Stevenson and Connor, or Stevenson and Harris or something. We can go double RB there if we want. What a gross range. I have so much Ridley. Let's go Reed here. 5 wide receiver start. Wild. All right. We're officially pissing right now. We're officially pissing. I think K-Walk's going to be a tough one to sort of nail down because just of the coaching changes. We don't know what the usage is going to be between him and Zach Charbonnet. We probably know they're going to run a lot, but we'll see. Team that could be losing Lockett. Should be losing Lockett. And this team's on auto, so this is just something to note here. If he ends up autoing another QB, we're going to have to push up QBs. Just something to keep an eye on, especially for those onesie positions. But I'm okay with double tapping RB, which don't want to force anything. Like, I do want to prioritize Dak as well at this 77 spot. So ideally, probably here, and then go 1 RB, and then go probably RB tight end, because this is the range where tight ends start to fall off. So if I can ideally get these 2 clicks with, I don't care, Stevenson, Najee, James Conner, if I can get 2 of these 4, and we should be able to get Dak here at 71, like this should be free. Really should. But let's see. Let's see what comes back to us. I'm I'm also interested, like Zay Flowers sure had a good rookie season, but if Mark Andrews can stay healthy, if Baltimore touches at wide receiver, which personally I think they have to, and it's a good wide receiver class. So I am a little worried that he loses some work, and he seems like he doesn't necessarily need like large volume in order to get there. Like he's a spike week type guy, but it seems a little expensive. I get it. Explosive offense, all that, but seems a little expensive. So that's probably another reason why I'm tying him so closely to Lamar, maybe. You gotta check your biases sometimes. Check your own psychology, your own practice here. Jacobs off the board at 60. Godwin goes off early to Omega. Ooh, okay. Tinderella looking to be absolutely buried at wide receiver. 2 running backs, a QB, and a tight end in the first 6 rounds. This is like you're out of flares, you're middle of the mountain, and a bobcat mountain lion is just staring you directly in the eyes. You're just like, oh shit. This is gonna be tough. 84 and 85 for this dude. He's praying like Romeo Dobbs is on the board. It'll be fun. Maybe it goes like Troy and Myers that, or like Deontay Johnson. 2 of these 3 would be okay. It'd be the start to saving his own life. DeAndre Hopkins off the board, so wide receivers definitely going off a little before ADP here, especially Hop. Going before JSN and Pickens. I'm sort of okay with it. I still like Pickens over D-Hop. I probably will have JSN. He's ranked in the red in the draft guide. I probably would have him behind Hopkins. If Hopkins is off the board, Pickens is off the board, then I would be willing to mix in JSN. Let's see. Maybe Aaron Jones is there. Just sort of expected that he wouldn't be there. This guy's on auto, so he's going to take JSN. This guy I would think takes – oh, no. Is this guy on auto? Let's see. He's not on auto. Which one's on auto? It's this guy with the 2 QBs. So both of these teams have 2 QBs. So this guy's going to auto either Kamara or JSN. This guy goes Spears. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, this is interesting. Okay. We have some people falling to us now. And let's see. We want one of these guys to be Dak, and then realistically a running back in this range, especially if it's Aaron Jones. This guy already has 3 RBs, so I'm going to push. I'm going to go Dak right away, and then I'm going to push my next pick. Don't you dare go Dak here, sir. Golfer, man. Stay on the course. All right, we're good. This guy's not an auto, right? This guy's... Has anyone been paying attention to the 1 spot? I remember that the first pick counted all the way down. I remember that the first pick counted all the way down. This guy might be on auto. Did we mess up? We might have messed up. Oh, dear. Come back. Baby, come back. I'd expect him if he was there to... He's not on auto, and he still goes a 4th running back. That hurts even more. That hurts even more. And then he goes Joe Burrow. Dude, this team going Tajay over Burrow here. It's got to be a mistake. All right. I think we go Kincaid here. 8 picks after ADP. Seems like a good spot. Really does. And then we push off RB because it's RB. Oh, shit. All right. We could see a Connor slide too. But realistically, we can double tap two of these guys, and I'm feeling good, or we can get our second tight end. Something like this with our next two picks. Either two RBs or one RB and a tight end, and we're cooking with gasoline. And also bring Purdy in that conversation. I don't think we have to force Purdy. Love goes incredibly early. And let's have a peek. We can also target Tua, which is the most ideal probably for what we want to do with this team. A Tua ADP of like 110, 107. This would be a little more ideal. Allow us to catch up at RB, maybe shore up the tight ends, only go two tight ends, or maybe we double tap RB. And if we do that, this will likely turn into a 3 tight end team, which is fine. That is what we're looking at right now. That's what's going through my head, through the old noggin. Brian Thomas Jr. goes off the board. And the auto drafter actually kind of ending up with a semi-balanced team besides going 2 QBs through 4. Has his 3 receivers, has 2 running backs. So far, it's not dead. That's all I'm saying for an auto drafting team. This guy going Aaron Jones, and of course, like Badgeless going his fourth running back. God damn. It was worth the risk, though. It was definitely worth trying to push Aaron Jones there. Dude, Jacoby Myers goes to pick 81. This team 12 is just staring in the face of the Avalanche. I'm curious if Omega goes CWAT here or not. Because at that point, it would be worth it for this team to go CWAT. In my opinion, it would be worth it. You need a miracle at wide receiver. So Christian Watson's like the definition of miracle. Oh, he goes Najee. Ah, my God. How? And he goes CWAT. Okay. That's fair. That is fair. Okay, these RBs are flying off now. Not good. Not good for us. Ah, I don't even want to put Eckler on this list. But I guess we will. This is what a 0 RB team looks like. Basically, all of these guys. We have our 5 receivers. This will probably end up a 7 wide receiver team, at least 7 running backs. It would help if we bring in our second tight end. If we can get Pitts, there goes Connor. If we can get Pitts, we can stop at 2, which opens up a roster spot on the back end, which we would use most likely a receiver. It's better to throw wide receiver darts at the very end of these drafts, I feel like, rather than running back. We have our favorite clicks like Chris Rod or a few clicks, Shipley, shit like that. This is just not good. Oh dear. And this guy's on auto. Oh dear. There goes, I go Eckler. Please, he'll take Eckler. If Mixon goes or Pitts goes, we're looking at Jaylen Warren, RB1 on this team. Oh dear. We're on the mountain ourselves being buried, but at running back. Javonte gone. Okay, so this team takes Eckler. The auto drafter takes Eckler, which is probably best case scenario. And we're looking for Mixon to fall to us. But do we take another gamble, which I think we would because we're sick? We would have gone Pitts there and said, hey, 1 spot. Do you want your 5th running back? Can you stop at these 2, though? We probably have to do this. We get our double stack with Dak. We have to do this, and I think we can stop at 2 tight ends, or we add a tight end very, very late. And we'll just take one of these 2 running backs. We're pushing it. This is the definition of no. Why? 10 picks before ADP? Why? Not like doesn't have Hill, doesn't have just doesn't make any sense. And it's mixing here. We get a 14 pick fall on the position that we needed a little bit of help in. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's see what we can do as a second QB. We can look at Deshaun Watson. Basically, right now, the only staff we would have, Purdy's not going to be there. And this team's on, okay, they're back. They're back. They're not on auto anymore. Clearly, because of the Pitts click. Good. Good. T-Law off the board at 101. 0% chance Purdy makes it back to us, which I don't mind Jaden Daniels, but we have to double click. We have to double click RB here, like no matter what. And we probably have to double click RB here again. And then we're looking at Deshaun Watson at this range. So maybe it's not a double click. Maybe we try to get Deshaun here at 146. But we definitely need 3 RBs in a row. Then potentially Deshaun, RB, and then we do have to bring in a third QB, I think, at this point. If we get Tua, that's sort of my borderline where I think we can stop. Easy to stack Derek Carr in the back end with Juwan Johnson or A.T. Perry. If we also end up with like Kendry Miller. And then this Rodgers ADP. Like, the second you see this guy throw a ball on the field, he rises. Like, look where you're drafting is wide receiver 1. Look where we're drafting the RB1. Like, Rodgers is such an easy riser. Chuba off the board at 103 ahead of Jalen Warren and Swift. Dude, get spicy with it. All right. The Purdy prayer. The Purdy prayer. Goff off the board. All these teams have QBs. CMC team to my left. Where's the Debo squad? Who's got Deebs? And then who's got Kittle? Where's the Debo squad? Tell me it already passed him. Let's have a peek. Let's have a peek. Debo's on the left with CMC. Where's the Kittle squad? Kittle's over here. Okay, no one has a stack with Purdy. Is there a chance that we get a Purdy slide to 119? No. 2 full rounds? No. And we have to hope no one autos. You could if you're smart enough, you could sell it as like he's an advance rate click and you just take him naked. But it's not like anyone has 3 QBs at this point. Like there's no reason to worry. 5 picks. You're saying there's a chance this team is about to time out. They go RB. This is crazy. And we're just by the second getting buried and buried deeper and deeper at running back. Oh, shit. If Purdy falls, we just stay at two QBs, which would help us in the back end. Another thing we could do, but really can't. Fuck. If we didn't go Jake Ferg. Oh, wow. The auto drafter gets him, man. The auto drafter gets him 20 picks after ADP. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, no. What have we done? What have we done? Jaden Daniels off the board. It's back to the Deshaun plan. Oh, we had a little bit of hope, too. We had a little bit of hope. We're going Rashawn here. We're going to catch up at RB. Ty Chandler is someone I haven't taken a whole lot of, but in this case, I think it makes sense. If it's someone that we haven't leaned into super heavily on a team like this, if he does hit, that chance that he does hit, It would make sense on a team like this. Drafting sort of like you're right. All right. We need. Goddamn. Let's just keep queuing RBs. Let's just keep queuing RBs. We can put Miles Sanders in this combo. All right. All right. Oh, crap. And then the QBs are falling so fast. I'm not completely opposed to bringing in like Aaron Rodgers or something sort of unstacked and going a late Conklin with this group. It's not spending too much capital at tight end in a 20-round draft. In an 18-round draft, you have to stop here. Caleb off the board. This is just going to be interesting. This is just going to be interesting. Lad McConkey off the board at pick 128. 10 picks before ADP. Steam. Absolutely sizzling. Absolutely sizzling. Crazy. But guys, if you're enjoying this stream, which I mean, how could you not be? I'm in max pain here, completely buried at the running back position. Go down, slap the like, try to make me feel a little better about this $10 this $10 fire squad we have. Goddamn. If White fell to 50, we were going to go White too. And I think that changes the landscape of this team, having at least that set amount of touches at running back. And maybe this is a K-Walk pick. Live and you learn. Dude. Kendra off the board. Jerome Ford off the board. I'm not interested in Herbert really because we have Rashawn. Oh, this is just going good. This is just going good. It doesn't feel great going McLaughlin here, I will say. One thing that worries me about Braylon Allen is the fumbles. We get a 16-pick slide on Schultz, too. Is this the spot where I'm mixing? Well, I have to go Deshaun here. I have to go Deshaun here. If he goes, I don't like the team. I don't. Do I mix him in? I haven't been drafting too much Blake Corum. Khalil and Rashawn would be probably relatively unique. Let's go with our clicks. Let's lean in. Let's go Jaleel here. Let's lean in. I still need a third QB. And honestly, I don't care if I have stacks for that third QB. It's just going to be an advance rate click. But I definitely need a third QB on this team. It's like, oh, why would you do that if, you don't have stacks? Well, because you can't get to week 17 if you don't advance. We'll try to find a stack here, but on the back end, it's ugly. You're looking at like Bryce Young, some rookies, and like Mingo. Although I do like the value on Levis. I do like the value on Young and Carr. I think Carr could be a stupid value. Same thing with Jones. Same thing with Smith, really. But I want to stack Geno. Daniel Jones, I don't care if I stack. I do think Levis and Young have at least a little bit of rushing upside. Maybe we end up going like, and it's gross. Maybe we end up going like Miles Sanders, Bryce Young, and Mingo, and there's a nice little double stack on the back end. Told you it's gross. We need right now. We still need RBs though. We're still hurting at RB, but it's looking up. Like you can see this team start to take shape. I'm not super high on Deshaun this year, but we have Amari, so we're already leaning into this offense. That makes sense. Kendrick goes off at 137. Still rising a little bit. Braylon Allen, Quentin Johnston. Omega brings in Estime, who I think is very landing spot dependent, but he has like the assets to be a workhorse if he gets the right landing spot. If he ends up in like the Chargers, you're going to wish you had more of them. I think you can say that about any running back, though, to be fair. Algier off the board. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I probably want two of these guys. I'm just going to ignore this whole group of receivers, I think, unless maybe we want to bring in Corley, who I'm trying to add more of in my exposures. Roman Wilson's another click that we've been making a lot of, but he's been like, this is starting to get expensive. It's starting to get expensive. Let's see who comes back to us here. 7 picks away still. Mims isn't a bad click, but we're not going to. We still need 2 RBs in this range, I feel like. 2 of these guys, 2 of these 3 rookies. We'll throw some darts at rookie. We'll try to get some good landing spots. Maybe some RB2 numbers. That's what this team definitely needs. Late tight end, we can go like Noah Fant. Maybe you get Fant to like, which isn't a great landing spot for him, but maybe you do get Fant to like Carolina. We're going to be looking at these 2 guys, I think. I'll be surprised if Derek Carr doesn't go off a little early. Where's the Olave squad? To our left. That helps us. And he already has 3 QBs. So maybe he will slide. Marshawn Lloyd here is ideal. This guy's... Honestly, he was doing better when he was on auto. He was doing better when he was on auto. Oh my God. Isn't that's fucking hilarious. Reaches up 17 picks for Palmer for his 8th wide receiver. And now he goes back to auto? No way. Don't do it. You're not going Lloyd. Don't do it. Thank you. We have to go RB here. We have to go RB. And then we can go RB wide receiver or QB RB realistically. And then we just have to lean into the really late round, the super late round wide receivers with this group of 5. We have to lean into this 5. I mean, you can't say this group's not fun, though. We got a double stack with Dak. We have Deshaun and Amari. Bunch of questionable running backs. That's the way you like to see it, though, this time of year. A lot of question marks. lot of question marks. Here's the thing. If we go a third QB, can we even afford to go a third tight end? Like, I don't think so. I feel like it's one or the other. And this is a good amount of capital. We get a little slide on Kincaid. I don't think it's going to depend. We're going to end up, our last two picks, I think, are sort of going to be luxury picks where it's going to be, do you want to lean into this group of running backs where we're going to bring in more? Like, we're not stopping with 6. We're at least bringing in one more. Do we want to lean into that group and then draft an extra tight end, an extra QB, or do you want to kind of lean into these onesie positions with Dak and Deshaun? Maybe Deshaun ends up a good value. Like, you can lean into that narrative as well at tight end. Like, this is fine for capital spent, especially where we're drafting Kincaid here. Okay, right off the board, which I think is right. No pun intended. Likely getting a little slide here. 14 picks. And like last round, tight end doesn't feel all too hot outside of like Fant and Brevin Jordan. But if Schultz resigns, like the Brevin Jordan clicks just like it's a handcuff tight end basically at that point. Sanders off the board at 179 ahead of Likely. I don't know. I would have Sanders like ADP 165, and it's going that way. But he does get a little slide here in this badgeless room. I think I'm just going to lean into super late wide receiver talent. Something like this. Go 2 of these guys. Basically just try to hit on one. If you hit on one with this group of 5, you don't need a whole lot more. Again, it could be Mingo if we decide to go Bryce Young, but my God. Makes me nervous. We do have more capital spent at tight end than QB. Derek Carr with A.T. Perry is an obvious one too. It's in the cards. Naked Daniel Jones. Anybody? Gibson off the board. Oh dear. Oh dear. The QB slides. Oh dear. Grab the wall. All right, Bryce Young goes 15 picks before ADP. Like, the only times you even discuss bringing in these guys, like, doesn't even cross my mind. Like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go like 3 QBs with like Bryce Young or Levis. But the one time you do, you just get hit by the avalanche. I'm telling you. Are they snipers literally in the building? Oh dear. JJ McCarthy. We don't need to do the click now. Rico Dowdle could make sense with the Dallas stacks we have going on. Dear Lord. Maybe we go Devontae Walker here. Or Malik. Ricky's gone. I like Ricky in this spot typically. Bateman, I think, is going to get some steam. Step forward expecting 2024. We're going to throw to him more. He didn't earn targets, though. It's tough to say you're going to throw to him if he didn't earn targets last year without Mark Andrews on the field, like competing against Dusty Odell. So I don't know about that. All right, we'll take a little slide on Devontae Walker here. Man, buried, boys. Buried. Let me hear it in the comments. Did I do this to myself? JJ McCarthy's going at the top of my list. He's going to the top of the list here. Damn. Damn. That's all. That's all she wrote. We have 3 picks left. It's crazy, but we might have to lean into these 2, and I'm not going to feel good about that. It's all right. Guess what? Some drafts just get away from you. I would have felt a lot better even just with Daniel Jones on this team. We almost got the Jones slide of 12 picks. We almost got the Purdy slide of 24 picks, and then he got selected by the auto drafter. And then Jaden Daniels went before ADP. Tua went 10 picks before ADP. We had to make a small reach on Deshaun Watson. And then all of these QBs go before ADP, except for Daniel Jones. And Will Levis, I think, went basically at. Yeah, he went basically at ADP. Anyone have 4 QBs? 1, 2, 3. This guy's got Kyler, Geno, and Derek Carr. I think that's smart to bring in Carr here for him. Bryce Young, Jordan Love. This team got buried. I'm feeling better than that team. So this has to be. He brings in Mingo here, which is cool. But this has to be JJ, I would think. Or maybe even Russ. This team, 12 has 2, 11 has 2 QBs, just Goff and Caleb. Omega got buried. Let's see. Probably bringing in a QB here, I would think. He doesn't. He's leaning in. What's interesting, he goes Caleb. He doesn't really pair it with anyone in Chicago. I don't know if I love that. Bateman off the board with likely no Lamar. Sovas gone. This is like the heartbreak story. It's like, all right, they're falling. There's only 5 picks left till you go. And it's just like, bam, bam. Like a 2-goal lead in hockey. Gone. These badgeless streets. This guy just auto clicks Russ. There goes 1 QB. Every team here has 3. This team's been going back and forth from. Oh dear. If this team goes Dylan, this guy auto clicks JJ McCarthy, we're going to need a vacation. We have 3 picks. And honestly, if we can't spend one at QB, we probably do end up spending an extra at tight end for no reason. No, I'm just kidding. Probably go 1 receiver or 2 receivers, 1 running back. We'll just go 2-8-8-2. This guy's autoing Dylan here. This guy has 3 QBs. We should have JJ here. Imagine the Josh Allen Lamar team brings in JJ McCarthy, throw the ball 18 times a game. Okay. He autos. I don't know if he has rankings set up or what, but he let that one tick all the way down. Maybe he's queuing. Dear Lord, let me have one good thing. All right. It's not so bad now. We're back. We're happy. We're back. We are so back. I do want Chris Rod here, though. Don't you do it. So this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be 3872. People can be like, but the advance rate clock says, the chart says that's got a negative EV advance rate. Well, yeah, because the people that are building this type squad don't know how to balance it. Bam. Bam. That's why. Tell me, look me in my eyes and say this team is not fun. This team's fun, okay? All right, here's what we got. We got JJ McCarthy going to Minnesota. 2 touchdown game in the air to Ty Chandler. Yeah, I can't even sell that. I can't sell that. That's far. That's far. All right. What can we do here? Is there anything fun we can do? Taj Washington's fun. Ah, dear. For a Jacksonville team that cannot keep both Ridley and Zay Jones, I don't know if this is going to be a surprise to people, but like Parker Washington is going to go back to being a 20th round click. It's just going to happen. Sure, he'll be the 3rd or 4th favorite target on the team, but high value targets, I would say. Early declare in last year's class. Kind of a sleeper last year, too. But we can afford to take a shot with this group of receivers, so we'll have some fun with this last click. A.T. Perry off the board. Let's rank them. Probably, this is about how I'd have it. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. But if you guys are just joining us, go down, slap the like on the live stream if you're enjoying the stream. We are trying to get to our next goal of 1,200 subscribers. And we are flirting with the idea of a 24-hour live stream if we can hit 2,000 subscribers before NFL kickoff. We flirted with the idea last year, fell just short. We're going to put the offer back on the table. 2,000 subscribers before NFL kickoff. 24-hour live stream coming to a place near you. Burton off the board, Cowling off the board. There goes 2. Thrash off the board. There goes 3. This list is getting shorter and shorter. Kendrick Bourne. Huh. Let's see. We got some breaking news here. It's on the Indianapolis Colts tight end room. They like their tight end room. We like what it has to offer. They're all a little different. The hardest guy to find is the blocker. Yikes. Yeah, of course. Jelani Woods was hurt all last year. If they're not looking to add to tight end, that's, in my opinion, a miserable decision. Dude. These guys, is everyone watching content nowadays? Like, what's going on here? What's going on here? We're running out of clicks here. Taj Washington goes, like, I've only seen a handful of people even draft him. I'm cool with Parker Washington here. It's about time. It's about time. Those poor souls that have been drafting MVS for the last 3 years. A lot of cardio. A lot of cardio. Parker Washington. Can add Johnny Wilson to the conversation. Alan Lazard wouldn't have been bad if we somehow ended up with Rodgers. But I don't love the Lazard click here. I think they touch at wide receiver. Cedric Tillman. We should at least consider it with Deshaun Watson. Probably should consider it. Damn. This was a wild one. That's for sure. We'll be marking this one down. I'm going to take a quick peek at these teams afterwards, too, to see how our team sort of compares. I think we go Cedric Tillman here for just the correlation, just the pucker factor. All right, let's just have a quick peek at these teams before we head out. All right. This team, QB's good. Tight end's definitely light. RBs are strong. These four can carry. And then if Dobbins does return, I do like this sort of build here. Wide receivers, third wide receivers, Dobbs. I do like the archetype players that they're bringing in, but the team, you can tell like this guy has done zero rookie research, and yeah, it's too bad. All right. Spot 3, Cousins, Mayfield, and Jones. I mean, Jones sort of saved his room, in my opinion, if you're hitting like a ceiling season. But yeah, it's fine with those 3, I guess. It's probably bottom 3, but Hawkinson, Kraft, and Fant, brutal. RBs, it's like the dust room. This is like the dust room. But 15 picks after ADP on Eckler's nice. A couple picks after on Alvin, but he should be going later. And the wide receiver room's good. The wide receiver room's fine. Like 6 wide receivers by Deontay Johnson's, it's pretty freaking strong. And then 16 picks after ADP on Mike Williams when you can already house him, even if he misses games. I like that. Just putting a lot of stock into TJ Hawk's health. But again, 13 pick fall. So this dude got like falls where he needed it at QB, like it must be nice. Must be, how's that feel? And the 4 spot, I think this team's dead. This team was like on auto for half of it. The wide receivers are fine, but again, you can tell who hasn't done the rookie research, and that's 2 badgeless people so far. Lawrence, Daniels, and Levis. Kelsey Bowers, like the tight end room's fine. Probably didn't need this pick, to be honest. QBs are, I think the QBs are fine. Between Lawrence, Daniels, and Levis, it's not the greatest group, but Lawrence should at least provide some sort of floor for this team. Spear, like the running back room's atrocious. I even like Benson, but you're leaning into like Javonte being an RB2 and Tajay having fringe RB1 numbers, like, and then getting a nuts landing spot on at least 2 of these 3. Like Gus Edwards not even guaranteed to return to Baltimore. So it's definitely light for a 20-round draft. Chase Adams, Higgins, Odunze. The wide receiver room's fine. Alec Pierce, Mr. Cardio. Wide receiver room's fine. Wide receiver 5 at pick 140 probably waited a little too long. This pick I probably would have spent at running back. All right, pick 6, Mahomes, Richardson, and Purdy. This guy was on auto, I think, for a little bit, or all of it. Nope, this went before ADP, so not all of it. Dude, really? Frymuth Allen, this team's dead. Okay. There's a few teams that are dead in these top 6 already. Picked 7, Fields, Stafford, and Wilson. That's fine. Otten, Okonkwo, and Henry. That's not enough, in my opinion. First RB is Robinson Jr., which is cool. I like the RB room. It's fine. again, a team full of vets and second-year guys, like no rookies, third badgeless person. Like it's real. When people jump in here and they're not used to drafting or they're newer to drafting, there is a correlation that they haven't done as much research as you and I. That's all I'm saying. Wide receivers are strong. I like how our team's stacking up so far. Not going to lie. Like, again, I think our team has good balance. Murray, Smith, and Carr, McBride, and Mayer, even if we were under an avalanche for the whole draft. Bijan Connor, RB room's good. I like this RB room a lot. And wide receivers, 4 by Hopkins is fine. Next, leaning into Ladd. Oof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rookies. It's, I don't know. Now, sure, we don't have to count these two as rookies, right? 4 receivers by Hopkins. These guys should play a role right away in their offense. But the 5th receiver being Ladd, which is fine. But the 6th receiver coming at pick 176, that's where I'm like, oh. But QBs are balanced. It's fine. This team's live, at least. Uncle Benji expecting a good draft from Benji here. Stroud and Herbert with Andrews, Komet, and Likely. Really well balanced. Got 20 pick slide on Likely, 12 pick slide on Komet. Like, great value here. Gibbs, Cook, Ford, Braylon Allen, Jalen Wright, and Zeke, which is interesting. But I'm largely okay with this group. And the capital spent, I think, super balanced so far in this team. Then brings in 9 receivers. I like this. Yeah, I like this team a lot. Again, just a balanced squad. In this time of year, that's all you're trying to do. You're trying to basically build as many balanced and correlated squads with upside, mix of upside and floor and ceiling, all that, to help your advance rates, as well as just give you the best chance to make it to week 17 and cash something big. Jordan Love and Bryce Young. I'm not even going to look at the team. I'm not even going to. We'll entertain it. We'll entertain it for entertainment purposes. Wide receiver, the RBs could be fine. Okay. Tight ends are strong. Okay. Wide receivers are, 4th wide receivers, Adam Thielen. And then you went Quentin Johnston. I like it. You kind of have to do it because of because of Bryce Young. Boyd should at least provide this team some sort of floor. But again, floor play, Douglas, relatively floor play. Adam Thielen, king of floor. I like the Jermaine Burton click. There's some clicks in here that I like, and then some that I don't. Like if Zay Jones doesn't end up in Jacksonville, everyone loves Zay Jones right now, which is cool. I do too, but I like him in Jacksonville. I'm not going to like him if he moves on from Jacksonville. There aren't too many landing spots where like that's good for Zay Jones. I don't know if anyone would use him like they do, but they're not bringing in both Ridley and Zay Jones, it looks like. This team's just, I think, going to fall too far behind at QB. Omega, Goff and Caleb sort of got buried as well at QB. Njoku and Sanders, even that's a little light in 20-round drafts. RBs are fine, and wide receivers are strong-ish. 4th wide receiver by Marquise Brown, but goes 9 of them. I'm not on Kendrick Bourne with the injury where it happened in the season and them probably touching it. Wide receiver, the unknown with QB. I think we can wait on the Bourne pick. Like, we have time to find out how his injury status is, and then you can draft him with your last 20 drafts. Like, he's not going to rise to the 17th round. So right now, I think the risk reward to drafting him, there's more risk than reward. But it's fine. It's whatever. You got a couple rookies in here. Brandon Cooks. It's an interesting one, but I do think it could fall behind at tight end or QB. Tinderella at the 12 spot, Hurts in May, which is cool. Kittle, Goddard, and Juwan Johnson. I'm cool with that. Kyron, Josh Jacobs, Harris, Tyler Algier, Israel Abanikanda, Gainwell. I'm not on this dude. UNH. I like the group. 3 RBs by Najee. Next RBs, Algier, handcuff. Maybe we'll get some upside with Swift leaving. I like the group of RBs. Wide receivers, he got buried, didn't he? He does get lucky, gets lucky. He gets C-Watt at pick 85. Next brings in Coleman, Judy, Wilson. I don't see it. And then yours truly in the 2 spot, trying to survive. Prescott, Watson, and McCarthy. Kincaid and Ferguson, lean in. Joe Mixon, Rashawn Johnson, Ty Chandler, Jaleel McLaughlin, Rashawn Lloyd, Ray Davis, Rico Dowdle, and Chris Rodriguez. And at wide receiver, Lamb, Ayuk, Waddle, Cooper, Reed, Devontae Walker, and Cedric Tillman. If one of these two can hit, even if they don't, like, we're probably good with this group to at least be in the running for top 3 here. Devontae Walker, if one of these two can hit, it'll make this team pretty strong. And then obviously we're looking for touches, boys. We are looking for touches. But if you guys enjoyed today's live stream, please go down, slap the like on the way out, leave a comment. Where did this one go wrong or right? You think this team advances or not? But I appreciate you guys. Hit the sub on the way.